Hey guys, what's going on? Let's just start into this real quickly here. I want to show some gratitude. Thank you so much for everybody that tunes into these. Thank you to all the people that choose to be a part of this whole journey with me and like hearing about it. Thank you to all of you that are willing to get vulnerable, talk to me, reach out, all that shit. I believe that really the universe is actually rewarding me, that God's rewarding me with those positive interactions with people, and that's one of the most powerful things that I have from day to day. And so, let's just get right into this, okay? Let's talk about what a real man is. There's been a slight deconstruction and a slight reconstruction of what we consider a man or a woman, and I'm not going to talk about that. What I'm going to talk about is I used a trigger word there at the beginning. I used kind of some clickbait because I wanted to get you guys to come in and check this out. So, hear me out. I think that a real man or a real woman, let's replace those words interchangeably through this here and we'll kind of let y'all interpret it how you want to, is vulnerable. I believe that a real man or a real woman is authentic, that they tell the truth. The truth doesn't need a hype man, and reality is that as you become more and more self-actualized, the more and more you begin to develop yourself and who you are and discover that and chip away all the shit that ain't you, the more you start to realize that authenticity and vulnerability are the only things that really qualify you to talk on anything. All right? If you are not authentic to who you are and the vision of what the universe is downloading, of what God is downloading into your conscience and your soul, on what your 10.0 version of you looks like, you're fucking lying to the universe, and that's not how that works, okay? You can't lie to creation and just hope it doesn't fucking notice, okay? And so, let's talk about what those words mean a little bit real quick, okay? Vulnerability is like a way misunderstood word. I think that people, when they think vulnerable, they're like, oh, well, my defense is vulnerable if I do this, or if somebody attacks, that we're vulnerable over here. That is one word for it. But I also think that emotional vulnerability is different. What it really is it's giving what you want to be able to get what you like. And to define that a little bit better, let's look at it like this. When I choose to display the real me, without fear of reprisal, because I know who I am and you can't attack me for something that I already know about myself, I get that out of other people. If you would like to be trusted, then you should trust people. If you would like to feel fulfilled and have fulfilling relationships, be a person that has fulfilling interactions with other human beings. And that ties directly into authenticity. You can't fake these kinds of things. You can't fake who you are to the world. You can't fake being actually interested in some shit. You can't fake having actual caring feelings for somebody. And strangely enough, if you, for example, if you fake loving somebody or fake liking somebody to save their feelings, you're lying to them. And that's not a very polite thing to do now, is it? I thought we all discovered that lying to people is bad. Right? Okay, so when we lie to people about who we are and what we are, we attract other liars because people are attracted to what they are. And that's why when you start bringing the 10.0 version of you to the table with everything you fucking do, you'll start to notice the 10.0 versions of your friends start showing up. If I want to become the best version of myself, I must be open to being criticized. I must be open to actually having helpful criticism. Personally, I always want to get this out of the way. If somebody ain't doing something I'm interested in doing, I don't accept criticism from them because if they're at a lower level of what I'm trying to do than where I'm at, or if they're at a lower emotional frequency than me, why would I take their advice? I'll end up like them. This is why when people troll people online or it's negative, hateful assholes online, I let it slide right off my back, because if I take what they're telling me to heart, I'm going to end up like them. And tattoo artists are a perfect example of this, man. We're some of the worst, most judgmental assholes in the fucking world. And I don't want to be that anymore. I recognize that tattoo artists are just different. There's not one on a pedestal up here and one on a pedestal down here. They're just different. There's different levels of applicative skill. There's different levels of art, different types of art. And I just don't have the fucking time to sit around and look at what other people are doing and have an opinion about it anymore, because I'm too worried about what my opinion is of my own stuff. I'm too worried about bringing the best version of me to the table. And I'll tell you this, that if I don't worry about bringing the best version of me to the table, I'm actively backsliding. And your soul, your conscience knows that. When you're backsliding, that's why you start feeling fucked up when you slack off at eating right, or you slack off on going to the gym, or you slack off on doing the things that you fucking need to be doing. You start feeling bad because your conscience is like, yo, dog, hey, yo, bro, hey, stop that. All right? But it really is. You just have to quiet down enough to really listen to it. And so when we choose to be authentic, that's an aspect of vulnerability. We're accepting that some people won't like our truth, and that not everybody will like our truth, and that not everybody will like us, but we're also respecting them. Because when we respect ourselves and others enough to just be who the fuck we are, what happens is that the people that fuck with us are attracted to it, and the people that are not are repelled by it. And what happens is that you actually get a circle of like-minded people around you like that. It's like manifestation kind of shit, guys. When you become a better version of yourself, you attract those people. Eagles don't hang out with chickens. And when you're trying to be an eagle, eagles start showing the fuck up. For real. Your circle is who you are. It's not just that they influence you. But if you want to see really the type of person you really, really are, look to the person that you hang out with the fucking most. And ask yourself, am I honestly like this person? Are the qualities that this person I dislike in this person qualities that I have? And I will promise you, they are. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. The qualities that you find upsetting in other people are shit that you fucking do. You know why? Because if you spot it, you got it. So, that's another aspect of being authentic and vulnerable, though. Because when you're vulnerable enough to recognize that you are being reflected yourself in the people around you, you will start to see that the shit that you get upset about, the things that upset you, are actually constantly reflecting to you what you could be working on for yourself. Like if somebody's pissing you off because they're inconsiderate, well, what that's actually reflecting back to you is that you are in a position where you're wondering whether or not somebody is caring about you, or whether or not they hear you or see you or respects you. And I believe that the cure for stuff like that is to do more stuff that demonstrates self-respect. And so setting boundaries is a perfect example of that stuff. When we set strong boundaries and we fucking stick to them, it becomes very difficult for those situations to come up so much. Chris Hall, I'm comfortable with myself and don't need anyone or anything to alter who I am. In fact, I'm repelled by people who are trying to alter me. The only person who has any business changing me is me. And the only way that God actually can't change me. I just have to listen to him. I have to listen to the call of my conscience and change myself. All right? And again, people who want to manipulate you are fucking repelled by that shit. They are straight up disgusted by it. In a TikTok video, live video I just did a few minutes ago, somebody was like, well, what about the government? Makes me angry. And I was like, well, that's not how it works, dog. The responsibility of that action is on you. And that reaction is on you. And he's like, see, that's a selfish mindset. And I was like, how is it selfish for me to suggest that you need to regulate your own emotions? And what happened, unfortunately for him, I would love to have had him stick around for a little bit, but he was repelled by the fact that I just spoke my truth and didn't care to accommodate for his lack of understanding of what I was talking about. Now, the other thing about this too, man, is that authenticity and vulnerability also implies that authentically you're telling the truth, that you're willing to tell people the truth and have them not fuck with you as a result of that. Okay? The truth is somewhat interpretable. I get that, man. We're all having a different experience. We're all filtering the reality through different paradigms. You know, I'm sure somebody can find a way to argue with this, but, you know, as far as I know, that always goes down when that happens. You know what I mean? But I'm sure somebody would find a way to argue with it. But if they're arguing with us on that shit, why are we wasting our fucking time? Okay? If people are arguing with things that we believe to be truthful, if we believe them, that's different, you know? And the truth doesn't need a fucking hype man. It doesn't need somebody to tell everybody else that it's the truth. What's up, Stanley? It's all good, man. Love you anyway. Glad you're here. We need people to help people. You know what's interesting too is that when we help people, we help ourselves. The crazy part about this, guys, is that my philosophy on all the stuff that I talk about constantly has become so laser beam fucking developed from me doing this every day because I want to help people that it is absolutely mind-blowing. the level of development I've had as a human being and a businessman and a family man and a father and a significant other, and just as a fucking relationship between me and a relationship between me and my fucking creator. Straight goosebumps, I'm so passionate about this, has just laser beamed focused. It is like at an absolute, it's like it's not even a fucking hill right now. It feels like it's dead ass straight up, just shooting out of the atmosphere. But that's because I'm fucking helping people, man. When you teach something, you learn it twice, and you learn a better version of it than you did the first time. Just like Lacey said, because everyone has different perspectives and we can't see our own ears, we need to be... That vulnerability is like a perfect example of that. When I'm willing to hear things about myself that I may not want to hear, I have actually leveled up. But a real man doesn't fucking have a temper tantrum because he heard something from somebody about himself that he don't like. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, man. Like, I don't believe that me and Lacey argue. I believe we've had some times where I'm like, no, and we start getting back and forth. And I actually catch myself getting emotional. And I'm like, and it's such a hard thing to do, but I'm vulnerable with you guys. I'll tell you about it. I don't care, man. There's nothing to hide. But when I rein that in and I try to reattack the problem we're having from the perspective of I would like it for it to be me and Lacey versus our problem, not me versus Lacey, it changes everything. Because that's my perspective now. I want to be a better me. I want to be a better man. I want to be a man that when she looks at me, she knows I would rip the fucking arms off a person and beat them to death with if it came down to me protecting our fucking liberty and our family. But I'd also like her to know that I can take that same level of intensity and calm it down and become a civilized barbarian that attempts to help our problems through thinking with them. Because this is the most powerful fucking weapon we have for our problems, but it has to be coupled with this. It's not this versus this, it's this and this versus the other stuff. And we have to get those two things in alignment. A real man and a real woman has their emotions, their thoughts, their very soul all in check and focus the same direction. And when we get broken focus with all those things, that's when we start having these internal warrings. We start having these internal conflicts that are causing massive fucking problems with us. Man, people are straight up like, let's see here. It's been my experience that by helping others, you turn help into better yourself. That's absolutely true, man. And look at the people we look up to the most, man. The people that we look up to the most did nothing but help people in their lives. And they had haters too. Like I've said this recently, like I think even on the last one, man, Mother Teresa had fucking haters. I've heard people say negative shit about her recently. I'm like, unless you've helped the amount of people that she's helped, I don't believe that you get the fucking right to talk about that shit. All right? Because you're on such a lower emotional frequency, it's not even funny. A lower spiritual frequency, it's not even funny, man. Let's see here. Let's see here. The truth will set you free, but first it might piss you off, but own it and work through your shit. And Lacey says, we're having passion towards our discussions to find a mutual solution because y'all are a team and a damn good one, that's right. And I do believe you would absolutely slaughter somebody over me if it came down to it. And likewise, well, that's good to hear. I'm glad we don't have to murder people. It's pretty nice. I enjoy that. Let's hopefully it never gets that way. Big prayers. But this really plays into, let's just wrap this all up here. And I just want to say that I think that like real men and real women should attempt to be at all times a civilized barbarian. I think that they should be capable of the most heinous shit you can imagine if the situation truly calls for it. Like truly calls for it. The only time I ever see violence as an option personally is if something's threatening directly my liberty, my freedom, or my family, the people I care about. And that is the only time. And even then, I'm going to do what I can to avoid it. And if it comes down to it, yes, I'm going to visit the most unspeakable violence on somebody as fast as humanly possible. You would not even understand it. However, we don't like people around here that have fucking temper tantrums. People don't like watching grown men fucking scream and punch holes in walls. People don't like grown fucking women causing problems with their fucking significant others or their exes or their baby daddies. And people don't like seeing fucking baby daddies do the same thing to baby mamas. All right? Nobody likes a vindictive, hateful person. Nobody likes ignorant fuckfaces. So we have to learn how not to be those things by choosing to open our hearts and open our minds to the reality that we are at all times in a level of growth. That anything that we understand is subject to revision at all times. And once we do that, I think that it becomes very easy to see the things that we need to work on in our lives. Because if you can just stand on a pile of your accomplishments for your whole life, you very well could end up standing on a pile of accomplishments from high school. And if you peaked in high school, you're kind of fucking living a loser life right now. I'm just telling you guys. High school sucked for me. I fucking hated it. I'm going to peak when I'm fucking 90. I'll peak when I'm dead. All right? That's how I'm trying to fucking work. And once we start to see that we actually can't actually focus on our accomplishments, that we need to focus on the things around us that we need to work on for ourselves, all of a sudden everything changes. And it's an amazing experience. We can only keep what we have by giving it away. That's so real. Man, your daily dose of motivation, you speak the truth, and you allow people that really respect what you're saying, the confidence to dig deep within and be comfortable with themselves and to be true to themselves or loved ones. Me and myself, I appreciate your words, and they keep me going. Dude, that's fucking amazing to hear, man. Right there. That's like, I believe that's God right there rewarding me with an amazing experience because I connected to another human being. And that's what it's all about, man. Real men and women make connections with people and to make lasting, meaningful, positive connections as a result of that. So I love all of you. I need to get some food for me and Lacey. I don't think she's gone to get food yet. I think she's waiting, and she's really been hinting at me that she wants me to go get food with her. So I gotta go do that. Hopefully she doesn't bite my arm off in the process. But I love you, babe. I love all of you guys too. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this stuff if it fucking, if it hits with you. I would appreciate it. It's so powerful. Tag the friends that you might need to do that. If you guys want to reach out and talk to me for any reason, my door is always open. I can't promise I'll respond instantly. I'm a very, very busy man, but I will definitely give you some real attention once I get a chance. Again, I love all of you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.